Hello, anybody here? Guess we'll wait for people to say hi before we get going. Hello, anybody here? Guess we'll. I forgot to mute my tab in the other browser for the YouTube, so it's now mute. Hello, I see people coming in now. Hey, Tails, how you doing? Oh, that's fine. Waiting for others to come in. Topic today is brainstorming on writing. Thought other writers will come in here too. Hey, Mo. You and our emojis, Mo. I think Uncle Paul's be coming. I told him about this live stream. Thank you, Mo. Hi, Melinda. Mhm. I don't know if she's still in here, Mo. If she was, she would have been on the panel right away. Yeah, I said I would be finished before then. And I was thinking an hour and a half on this workshop so everybody could be prepared for Paul's live stream. If you like, get pen, paper, and pencil ready. If you'd like to brainstorm of ideas on what to write, it's kind of it's kind of good exercise to use your mind on our imagination, like I did with my writings. I did a bunch of short stories, poems, and one novel. Was working on the second one. Like yes, was it yesterday? I said on Paul's live stream. If you're, are you 5 hours behind? Same with the UK time, Mo. If it's 5 p.m. Eastern time and we're on UK time, be midnight. Don't quote me on that, Mo. Okay, everybody ready for brainstorming? You heard of the fairy tale Beauty and the Beast, right? We have a lot of movies like King Kong. She was earlier, but I don't know when she just shared and liked and shared and took off. Mo, if you hi girly girl, um, well, I said get paper and pencil ready. Think of Beauty and the Beast. You had the fairy tale Beauty and the Beast, and then you have the King Kong with the beauty of Fay Ray and Kong himself. You have lots of similar Beauty and the Beast. We could switch it around where the Beast is the girl and that the female Beast going after a handsome guy, let's say. Or if you prefer, in the LGBTQ area, girl beast on female beast, or male beast on male beast. Hey, Mr. Paul, you're not connected yet. Um, hey, Paul, Uncle Paul.
Here you are. I came on the wrong channel.
Yeah, I could
But
tell.
that's what. I mean, I just woke up
Yeah.
and
Hello,
okay.
Victoria or
I
Claire.
just woke. I woke up. I saw that you was on. I said, oh crap! And I just hurried up and came up.
Yeah, tail. Yeah, something like that. Okay, Mo. Yeah, it's be 1 a.m. our time when Uncle Paul be on tonight.
Yep. Oh. But anyway, what have you been talking about? Like I said,
Oh,
I just woke up and
I was
so
doing a talk about a brainstorming on what to write
awesome.
to make a story on Beauty and the Beast, but with a twist. Instead of the beast be a male, be a female,
Yeah.
and the handsome guy would be the beauty in the story.
Yeah, they did that. There was a it wasn't called Beauty and the Beast, but there was something like that. Uh, and the guy was a very handsome man. There, everybody was in love with. Thought he was really sexy and stuff. And then he fell in love with the. I mean, the girl was pretty to a
Hmm.
point, but she turned into a werewolf,
Hmm.
and and that's where they got the Beauty and Beast twist.
Yeah,
But the thing is, that's a great idea. That is awesome to do.
yeah. There was one movie back in the '80s called Monster in the Closet.
Yeah.
Have a similar story, but I think the monster in that movie was a male monster,
Right.
and the guy he fell in love with was a male reporter,
Okay.
Clark Kent type,
Never.
where everybody think he was handsome and all that.
Right.
That movie starred a young Paul Walker and Stacey Ferguson, who became Fergie of the Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah.
They, yes, Fergie was a sound actress before she went into music.
Yeah. I was wondering, has anybody heard anything from Ruthie?
She just came in earlier before the live stream started. Said she shared them like like,
Hmm.
but I haven't heard from her since.
Let's see. No, she never did get back with me. I text her,
Mm-hmm.
and she never did return my text.
Yeah. Shaka been worried about her too. She haven't been responding back to him either. So
And
okay, let's go. Let's go back on the topic. What I was.
yeah, sorry, I've been worrying about her today and stuff.
Yeah, and it could be a female on female or male on male action. The story. It depends on what your taste.
Mm-hmm.
It could be high flower. How
Hey,
you
Flower.
doing?
Yeah, I know. I woke up. I just woke up. I just got in here. I forget.
It
I
could.
forgot.
Yeah, it could be romance, fairy tale like horror, fantasy, sci-fi. It can be westerns, but and Native American folklore, but kind of avoid the twists like the werewolf and the vampires because that's been used a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like throw in like Nessie, have
No,
Nessie fall in love with a guy or a gal
hey, use Bigfoot.
or Bigfoot, yeah,
I mean,
or or Skinwalker or the Mothman or
yeah,
the Owlman, something like that along the lines. Hmm.
right.
I think th- I wonder if the Mothman is a elemental
Well,
being. We don't know for sure.
there's a lot of different stories now. If you take that look, that I got a story in. There is a Mothman story, but it's based on what some people in our area, you know, because I come from that area,
Yeah.
and it's based on that he's an alien.
Hmm. They're trying to say everything
Yeah,
is like from Alien.
awesome. I love the UK folklore, Claire.
Yeah, I play some of those types games too. Yeah, Mothman, West Virginia.
Yes, I know, but the thing is, where I come from in Ohio is very close to West Virginia. So it's our area. Uh,
No, not this case, Mo. He's Mr. Paul of the UFW.
I'm Metropolitan UFW and DCA. But that's a good idea, though. But uh, so
Yeah,
for you now, how many words are they supposed to write for you?
it's just a brainstorming to see how far they could
Okay,
come up with, and then we could help them along to get more words into it if they needed it,
yeah,
or it needs some more uplifting, stronger storyline.
right,
Because most of the stories and folklores of all time usually are short
Right.
in these type of things. Like Beowulf is kind of short,
Mhm.
and then
Yeah, that's,
Edgar Allan Poe's short stories were short
but
too.
that
So,
the thing is that's why mainly you see all the cryptic stuff in short stories collection.
yeah.
Uh, Now, like my area now here in South Carolina, we have the lizard man in this area.
Mhm.
So I could take the lizard man, or I could change it to a lizard woman
Mhm.
and let a human fall in love with the creature. So, I mean,
Mhm.
that's just. I mean, I don't know if I can do it or not because of everything else I'm doing, but I'll try to come up with something for you.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. It, yeah.
Now, have you ever heard of the Grass Man
I heard of the Grass Man.
from Ohio?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's Bigfoot type creature.
have you ever heard the real story of how that creature came around?
Not really, because there were different stories of how
But
he came around.
right, but the thing is, the Ohio Grassman is also was is from Athens County, where I come from.
Mhm.
So I could tell the story how he came about,
Mhm.
because that would be a Beauty and the Beast tale.
Yeah.
Even though the woman did not consist, you know, did not want to do nothing
Mhm.
with the creature, but the creature took her anyway. And that's how the Ohio Grassman started.
Yeah. It almost sounds like the old um, Greek myth stories came about.
It, the way the Grassman came about was actually a Bigfoot was supposed to rape a
Mhm.
a young maiden,
Yeah.
and she had the baby,
Mhm.
and that's how that came about. If it's true or not, nobody can say. But I
Yeah.
have seen a creature that looked a lot like the Ohio Grassman when I lived
Mhm.
there in Ohio. I did see a creature up in the field one time, and the thing is, I couldn't tell if it was brown, but it did look like it had a grayish tint to it.
Yeah. A, a lot of
And I don't write nice stories.
there we go. That's better.
Ah! Oh, that's me. Okay. Here it is, everybody.
Yeah. I I was saying about the Greek mythology where Zeus forced himself onto women to give
Yeah,
birth.
right.
Sometimes he disguised himself as another animal,
Hmm.
which is why we got some of these half man, half
Right. The
beast
thing
creatures.
is, he would disguise himself as a regular man too. It's
Yeah.
someone that they thought was like this one tale was he came in the form of this lady's husband and stuff. Because this was a very horny little bastard in these tales.
Yeah. That's a good one to cover in the future, Wisteria.
Yeah, that is a great one. Um,
Uh, it, this is kind of writing exercises that I do in college in my creative writing classes
right.
to come up with stories. And sometimes we were given words to put into the
Hmm.
storyline.
Right. I mean,
It's kind of hard to put modern stuff into a fantasy tale, but I created like a little gremlin type creatures that
well,
goes to a farmer's chicken.
I think it'd be. I think it's a lot easier to do a urban fantasy of the modern time.
Yeah,
I mean, that way it can cover whatever and anything.
yeah.
Uh,
Since all these folklores and tales like the or Claire was saying about in the UK, it haven't
mhm.
changed all that
Yeah,
time, and they still believe in this in the
yeah,
stuff like the banshees and all that.
yeah. I mean, I think it's awesome.
It's mhm.
And well, if are you going to start doing this on a regular basis?
Yeah, and we could also do it, help work with each other. Like we could continue it on your show, and vice versa.
Yeah, I
Give
mean,
us extra.
well, the thing is, if you want, you can give them the what to write about, like you just did, a twist
Yeah.
on beauty, like a twist on
Mhm.
Beauty and the Beast. And then in my writing group, we can do the writing sprint. You did writing sprints before, right?
Um, writing scripts for novels and that
For anything you're writing.
only thing we have.
Um,
The only thing I did was help um work on the Mount Nebo magazine for the
right,
college,
right.
but we haven't done. I haven't been taught how to do the
Okay.
script
Well,
for.
okay. Uh, what we'll do if you don't care, you give it out, and on in my writing club, what we'll do writing sprints to
Mhm.
where I mean we'll take it from like I'll say, see how much you can write in 5 minutes, and then times, and then we'll write everything. Then we just come on and say how many words we got in those 5 minutes. Then the next round on the same day would be 10 minutes, then 15, then 20, and to see how many words you can get. Thing is, you'll be surprised how many words you're going to get. And even even when I was this type of writer, in 5 minutes I got over a little over 100 words, and then they can come back on your show and read them.
Yeah, like proofreading or something like that.
And because me, when I write, I don't put punctuations in, so nobody can read mine until unless it's me because uh, they don't know where to put the. I mean, I can guarantee you there won't be no punctuations in there because that's why I have to do it about 4 times on rewrites. I think he froze people. I'm waiting on him to get back. Unfreeze magically. Unfreeze. He disappeared. I told him to unfreeze, and he disappeared. That just wasn't right. So how is everybody doing? I think this would be awesome to collab like this uh, and stuff. So who's going to try to do it? Claire, I know you said something about writing. I know I write. Is Terry still in here? So he writes. Hey, Momo. Uh, I hope he comes back. Yeah, Solstice. He froze, then he disappeared. Awesome. Yeah, you do write, Solstice. So if anybody wants to join us, join him uh, for and read stuff. That's awesome. And then over on my channel, we can get together and just write. Awesome, awesome, Claire. Hey, Snow, what's up? What's up? I'm taking over. Snow, I am taking over. I am the new dragon. Oh, I am the new Spitfire. So, anyway, I guess I took over for now. And when he gets back, I have to go because I got stuff I need to go get done. I just want him to know that I'm watching and come up and talk because I hate to type in chat because I want to say stuff and it's easier to say it with my mouth than it is typing. Uh, I like to see what everybody comes up with. That's what I like to see. Uh, Now, is he giving us a week to do this or what? Did he say yet or not? There he comes. Okay, I'm back to Mr. Paul. I was the new Spitfire, but now I'm just Mr. Paul.
I got disconnected from the internet.
Yeah. Snowcone came in and said, "Hi, Snowcone, I'm taking over. I'm the new Spitfire." um, David, I will be watching. I'll leave you running. I got some stuff to do,
Okay.
but I will have you on the TV. I won't be in chat or nothing, but I will have you up there on the TV. That way, I can control the volume a little bit better. I got a few phone calls I need to make and stuff like that. I am too, Momo. I am too. I text her. If she don't answer that text tomorrow, she's going to get a phone call. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Solstice. Are we supposed to do this on a weekly? Are we supposed to do this? Do we have a week to come up with a story?
We could work on a story for a couple of weeks.
A couple of weeks. Okay. We got
Yeah.
2 weeks. That means I
Yeah.
can. That means I can throw together 1,000, 2,000 word story and
Mhm.
then get back writing the stuff I'm going to put in the book. So I'll see you later, David.
Okay.
Everybody in chat, awesome to see you. I hope everybody can make it to the show tonight. And that's why I'm leaving because I only got a couple hours to make these phone calls in. Actually, I got an hour and something to make the phone calls in. So you all have fun now. You hear? Later.
Okay, see you later. Uh, I was trying to find that link for you, girly. I have my StreamYard tab open on a different browser than my tab on another browser. Thank you, Mo. Out the 8 in the chat. Hit the like, share, and all that. The story could be like 100 to 1,000 words. It could fall in between. Then in a couple of weeks, we could proofread our work to see what we got. Um, you could throw like a historical figure into it, like Calamity Jane or Winston Churchill or Sid and Boo or somebody like that. We we have stories with her historical figures in in novels and that in work of fantasy and science fiction. Phil J. Philip, yeah, Bonnie and Clyde could be good. Hey, Matt. Okay, Matt. We could do, let's say, Winston Churchill meets the Loch Ness monster, or Teddy Roosevelt meets the Mothman, or something like that. We already have like Bonnie and Clyde meet one of those monsters before. We had Billy the Kid versus Dracula, and Jesse James meets Frankenstein's starter. There's lots of combination we could work off through that. Like I said, avoid vampires and werewolves. We already have too many stories about that. That would be where the lizard man meets the Mothman and falls in love to make a lizard Mothman. Yeah, that could be for another. Yeah, that's true, Tails. There's an oversaturation of zombies, werewolves, and vampires in today's culture. They don't use. He has to do stuff, Mo. He's going. He has to get stuff done before the wrestling show tonight. Okay. Um, throw in his. You could throw in historical places like Pleasant or Little Bighorn or the Stonehenge. I can't talk. Stonehenge or the Loch Ness. Okay, shout out to the 11th industry. And look, once we do that, or throw that in, and we could probably throw in like gods in there or Native American spirits. Native Americans don't really think of gods and angels and that. They think of them as spirits, good spirits and evil spirits with many of the tribes. Um, you could touch on taboo stuff like in religion. That's true, Matt. But we also have the Walking Dead and all that, and iZombie and everything like that out there. I think people probably would want to look more into the cult and cryptids instead of having the same thing over and over again. Like, let's say, Bigfoot. Bigfoot kidnaps a beautiful maiden to be his wife. Things like that. Or a female Bigfoot abducts a male human and wants to mate with him. Stuff like that in stories. Is it really improper with Bigfoot? People think that they're they're more human than we think they are. They'd be Bigfoot is smart enough to be elusive. Hey, Sape, how you doing? See, some of these creatures, yeah, yeah, but That's a good survivor story. Um, like like ideals like that, Matt. Good survival story. It could turn into a forbidden romance, into a romance like Beauty and the Beast. What I'm talking about. Yeah, yeah. Say they're talking. People, experts are saying that Bigfoot is like like a human. They're very smart and elusive. It's almost like King Kong. Yeah, we're talking about brainstorming on how to write a story, a fictional story. Say it could be in any sentence, like I said. Could be in the past, could be the present, it could be in the future. I'm I want to try to dip myself into writing a western type love story. Bigfoot's Bigfoot's back then too. So time of 1880. Yeah, it could be in a different dimensions too, right, Claire? That could be true also. It it could be almost any where it could be take place anywhere around the world. We have a
How's it going, Spitfire?
Paul. Hey, Paul.
How you doing?
That's okay. You've been listening.
Yeah, I just got on. I had something we had to deal with real quick, so it's the first time I've been able to actually come on and say anything.
Yeah, we're talking about brainstorming on writing a short story, like a Beauty and the Beast type story. Like we could reverse it where the female is the beast and the beauty is the guy,
Okay.
or vice versa, or something like that. It could be it could be a male beast on a male human too. For people who are into that stuff.
Are you writing something on it, Spit?
Yeah, we're all yeah. Thank you, Matt, for pointing that out. I said their intelligence and survival and endurance is similar to us in a way, to be elusive. There's lots of humans trying to be elusive to avoid crowds of people.
So kind of like a reverse Beauty and the Beast story.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're talking about all these different type of creatures in the cryptid book, but we're trying to avoid of using the saturation of vampires, werewolves, and zombies.
Okay.
That's where too much where everybody writes about these days anymore.
Well, if you're going female, you can always write like about harpies.
Or yeah, harpies, or a love affair between a Mothman and a woman, or something like that. or or
Yeah.
or female Bigfoot abducts a hunter. It takes him to her cave to mate with him.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you can turn any female into, or any male character into female, or you can go just like the banshee type creature.
Yeah, there's the like I told Uncle Paul earlier when he was on. There was a movie back in the 80s called Monster in the Closet.
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it stars two child actors that became big names in the future. Paul Walker as a child actor in that movie, and Stacey Ferguson. She became Fergie of the Black Eyed Peas.
Okay. And hello to everybody in chat. Sorry I missed you. A little behind today.
Yeah. In that movie, the reporter that was doing the story on the murders is a Clark Kent type character. A handsome reporter that the girls like. And so was the male monster in that movie.
What would you consider a female serial killer to be a monster?
They call a movie after a female serial killer.
Okay.
Remember, I can't remember what's her name, but the movie was titled Monster, and she went around killing people.
Or you could throw a twist and have it like a female Dexter.
Yeah. Yeah, the problem with that is how are we going to put romance into it, like the Beauty and the Beast?
I'm sure there's a way to do it. I'm just not sure how.
Yeah, until that vampire Sasquatch falls in love with a female, young female in that town.
Yeah, the whole vampire Sasquatch in Alaska kind of vaguely reminds me of 30 Days of Night.
Yeah. There's other things to look at too. We have the Wendigo, we have the dragons in Native American culture, and then you have the other creatures like the tricksters. That's a good one to think about. Trick a male or female to fall in love with you.
Yeah, or you could do like a female skinwalker.
Yeah, a female skinwalker, or
you can make up a creature that hasn't been invented yet.
Yeah, there's that too. Like I've done in some of my books that I did. I have a creature called Hi Sandy. I have a creature called the healer worm. It wraps around injured people and heals them.
Okay, hey Shandy. Yeah, I was thinking that too, Claire. Evil unicorn.
Yeah,
That'd be different.
yeah. Almost. Yeah, that's a good one too, Matt. And also you could like like what I was going to say. There was other things. I I don't know what called this creature I created called a changer worm. The worm swallows you up, put you in a cocoon-like state, and hang you out on a branch until you change into another creature.
You could always do a different version of a Bride of Frankenstein type story too.
Yeah. Oh, we're doing about brainstorming on what to write, Sandy. It's kind of like a Beauty and the Beast type deal. Yeah, yeah, Tails. I forgot about the deer woman in Native American myth.
Yeah, that one completely slipped my mind.
I think Thunderbirds could be tricksters too if they change forms. Um, what other creatures that we have that we could use that we haven't used? Of course, we have the harpies, or we could. There always did a lot of movies on the Gorgon or Medusa type creatures.
Yeah, have you talked to Todd about a female werewolf at all?
Yeah, they did a bunch of movies on female werewolves, so that's been covered a lot.
Okay. Trying to come up with something that hasn't been done. I hear you.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
and we have how about a female minotaur? Half woman and half bullish like head.
Yeah, and every time you think about centaurs, they're always male. You never heard
Yeah.
about a female centaur. Yeah, I remember ginger snaps. Thank you, Claire.
Yeah, it's not just that, but also American Werewolf in Paris too.
Yeah, I remember that one a lot. And you can pretty much bring up any Disney movie and turn the villain from male into female too.
Yeah,
Well, one of them, a couple of them are female.
Yeah. Because a lot of Disney movies were based off of stories that were originally real horrifying. They turned them into real Disney type characters.
Cinderella and Snow White, or the Brothers Grimm's fairy tale.
Brothers Grimm, the
Yes,
sisters. Yeah, Sisters Grimm.
Brother Grimm's.
Yeah. Now, the sisters did one too, but I forgot their name.
And those stories that was really gory.
Yeah. Disney turned them all into likable characters.
Yeah. Well, how about Hydra Naga or Naga? You know what the Nagas are?
Yeah.
Combine it with a Hydra. Chop his or her head off, it grows another head.
Yeah, it's true. Tales of Solstice. I can't even say the word. Maleficent. Maleficent. Yeah. Yeah, Brothers Grimm.
Hi, Freaky.
Hello, Freaky.
Now here's somebody that could come up with a freaky story. Freaky could.
Trying to think of one. I can't think of the word for it.
We could. I'm not sure if the orc or goblins that be put under creatures or under humans, because in most of the stories, like J.R.R. Tolkien considered them as human-like, you know.
Yeah, they do a lot of that stuff in Christopher Golden's old series, Myth Hunters, too.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we could put trolls in with humans or in creatures. Hi, tyrannical. First time.
Hello, tyrannical.
We're doing a brainstorming of writing. Okay, Freaky, we're going to catch up with you later on this, tell you what we're talking about. I was looking at trolls, goblins, elves, and all that, but then we already have Lord of the Rings, have elves and humans interacted with each other, but they're human-like.
You could always do like a half angel, a half human type.
Yeah. Yeah, the difference, I think, between trolls and goblins and orcs and that is that their skin color and mutations. They probably were human at one point. Because we have the dwarves and pygmies and hobbits or halflings. We know what we call them now these days, the little people. You know, like Warwick Davis from Willow.
Yeah, if you do that, you can almost do a leprechaun thing too.
Yeah.
Never been a female leprechaun.
Yeah, there's never been a female leprechaun.
They did have one in that one of those leprechaun movies.
I've seen them all. I don't remember one that was female.
I think it was in the one of them, or in his origin of how the leprechaun is. I think he had kids too at one time.
What about like the Hunchback in Notre Dame?
That I think it's based on somebody who have a deformity in his back.
Yeah, you could make an evil version of it though.
Yeah. And then you have the from what I understand that there is a true there was a story of a true person with a hunchback. It's kind of like a disfigurement or something like that in the spinal cord.
And
I do have a hunchback myself because of my spinal cord
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah, Claire and Tails, I understand that.
Yeah. And the Elephant Man is real too. He was born with a disfigured face.
and body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, Matt, that's
What the real guy looked like.
Mm-hmm.
that's something that we could also look into using some of these old bits and tales to borrow from, like the female crow. Um, it depends, Matt, because people people think of fairies and all of that are evil, but not all of them are. Because what I was told is that there is a balance of good versus evil, no matter what they you are, human, an animal, creatures, things like that. Spirit, angels, and demons, and things like that. And then in Christian belief is that they say that dragons are all evil, but in other cultures, dragons are good and evil.
Like in the Asian culture.
Yeah, there's always
Yin to the yang.
yeah. Every species have a yin into a yang. I wrote a goblin character in my novel called Cookie. He's adopted by one of the main characters as a kid because he was a baby goblin that the parents were killed and raised him as his own son. And he fought on the side with the good guys. So I kind of make that there are good and evil. Not everything we see is evil. Or to be afraid of.
Yeah, actually, I've heard of that, Claire.
Yeah, I think some Native American man saw Mother Earth. Yeah, girly girl, I know what you talk about. I seen it too. It's the spirit cat that likes to make an appearance once in a while. He's
Just shoot away like a fly. Tell it to go away. It'll be gone.
yeah. Uh, like I said, everything has the good and the bad to them. So we could see what we can come up with, because every time we look at bad, everything that's being bad, it turns out they're not bad. Like we think, like gorillas or apes, we think of them as savage beasts. There was one time a 5 or 6 year old child fell into the gorilla pit.
Yeah, I remember that.
And a female gorilla came to save him, hold him like a child, and kept the other gorillas away from him until the kid was rescued by the zookeeper.
Yeah, just like the myth with sharks. Sharks aren't evil; they're just survival.
Yeah,
They're doing what they can to survive. Is all it is. They're not what you would call evil.
yeah.
And Claire, I understand about you talking about the fae and the fairies. Yeah, let's just say I understand it.
Yeah. I do think we do have fairies like Tinkerbell as good, and then we have the evil version of them.
Well, you can always send them my way too, Claire. I'll take a look at them if you want, and you won't be ridiculed by what you see.
Yeah, Tail.
Yeah, there's a lot of Native American stuff I don't even know about.
And Native Americans, a lot of Native Americans today think that Skinwalker is not to mess with.
I understand that, Claire.
Yeah. Hi, Elizabeth. How you doing?
It goes for anybody else who wants to share something. I don't believe in ridiculing people for something they see or something they hear. We all go through different things, so.
You know what, Claire? What you see, you could work them into or storytelling in fiction writing, because it's a gift that you could share with others, even though then they won't ridicule you that way. Because a lot of authors and writers these days use their gifts, what they see, to write things down, like Nostradamus. We think some of his stuff were fiction.
Yeah, and sometimes only certain people are meant to see certain things.
Yeah.
Just because one person sees it and another doesn't mean it's not there.
That's true. And sometimes people don't know they have their gifts themselves until they experience something.
Yeah, that's a good point, Spitfire. But some people never have the gifts, and some people can practice and get better, depending on what they want to do. Some people don't want to touch it, and that's fine too.
Sometimes priests and preachers don't want to touch in that subject either.
But then you got stuff like Christian mystics.
Yeah. And then you have different people in different beliefs, like in Wicca or
Yeah, or voodoo or some of the others. Yeah.
voodoo or pagan.
Pagan, neo-pagan. There's a whole ton of that stuff out there.
And everybody do believe in the belief that you don't mess with satanic stuff. I heard a lot of stories that people were doing satanic sacrifices in cemeteries and not. It kind of stir up the people at rest in those cemeteries.
Stirring up the spiritual energy. I understand that.
Uh-oh. We have somebody else in the basement.
Hey, Spitfire, how you doing?
Hey,
You know,
Tad.
I was on the receiving end of Ed's roasting. Yeah.
Nobody's roasted today. We're talking about brainstorming to write.
Let's put it this way, with how big I am anyway, I could smell the roasting pork from here.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I started a short story, right? Well, I can give you a reading of what it says.
Yeah, we're talking about thinking.
Right, flipping.
We were thinking about writing short stories about reverse Beauty and the Beast type.
Yeah.
And what's your story about, Simon?
Did Simon froze?
I think he froze.
Simon froze.
Bollocks, sorry, I got it wrong. Seems that what I wrote had corrupted. And that was the save that corrupted, so it looks like I'm going to have to rewrite it again. It sucks when that happens.
It happens to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Spitfire, I got to do something, so I'm going to jump down for a little bit. Thank you for having me up.
Okay.
And you got to just keep it going.
Okay.
Okay.
I hope I've been driven anybody off.
I'll probably have to get off of about another 15, 20 minutes so that we could get ready for Paul's live, Uncle Paul's live.
Oh, yeah.
For wrestling.
I mean, what basically what I written was about a group of people who were grave robbers, you know.
Yeah.
And fantasy this is. They got one who's a woman who's like from a cat race in this particular world. You know, so she was like a humanoid but cat. You got an elf, a human, and a dwarf, right? Each have their own specific abilities for ideal for robbing tombs or ruins. Unfortunately, they happen to find something they've unearthed that puts their world in peril.
Simon, have you ever thought, when you think about something, brainstorming and all that,
Yeah?
do you ever think of creating a story?
Well, that's how I got this little story from. I've just brainstormed it down first, and then
Brainstorming. Like what I was talking earlier about with Matt and them about Bigfoot. Bigfoot abducts a human being, male or female,
yeah.
and they make him or her a mate.
Well, put it this way, I think it would look peculiar between a cat person and a human person. I don't think that would go because the cat person maybe evolved into a humanoid, but I don't think they would be the right race, if you get the meaning.
Yeah,
They're,
this story about what I've heard other experts said about Sasquatch or Bigfoot
Mhm.
or Yeti in that. It's
Yeah.
like a loss, we're the loss of the missing link in our human gene.
Yes, but because
They
they
they're
maybe
like human.
they may be like humans in some ways, but in other ways it wouldn't work out. The early human beings, let's say Neanderthals and
Mhm.
Homo sapiens sapiens, which is man,
Yeah,
they did because they were that close together that they could interbreed. But
yeah.
a Yetian human, it'd be just like somebody trying to have fun with a gorilla, you know.
gorillas are gorillas are close to humans too, in a way.
I read something. There's only about 3 chromosomes difference between us and the chimpanzees.
Did you know that a person had a heart transplant, having a baboon heart?
No, I never heard of that. I've heard of a pig heart.
Well, uh, they use a baboon heart because it's closer to us in a way,
Yeah.
genetics and all that.
I was just wondering if he started walking on all fours and started eating bananas. You know. But the short story on this, the story I'm doing is that it ends up with they
Welcome
pick up
back,
an artifact.
Mo.
Sorry, they pick up an artifact, right? That turns out to be one that should never have been unearthed. It gets in the hands of a person of a people that 500 years before had invaded the same lands
Yeah,
and laid it waste. And now these people are basically back to medieval times where it was more technological before.
yeah. What
You think it's a good story to try again to do?
I there's things that we don't want to oversaturate is the vampires, werewolves, and zombies. That's always been saturated. That's it.
No, 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 no. What I'm doing is simple as that. It's one a bit like Indiana Jones thing, but with the fantasy. You got traps and different things
Hmm.
within the tomb.
Yeah,
The dwarf is really good at mechanical stuff, like finding out how to defeat the traps. The Catwoman is agile enough to avoid the
hmm,
traps and fight anything that's in there. Right? Yes, there's probably what you call walking skeletons in there,
yeah.
but I know the zombie thing can be that way. But for me, they're not going to be living people minding them with minds in dead bodies. It's not that for me. It's going to be a case of just people who were animated by ancient magic,
Hmm.
which is different
Yeah.
from being a zombie, you know.
Um,
And basically, the artifact is a gemstone, which is black gemstone, set in a bracelet. They're supposed to be used by the last king of a particular kingdom while fighting these lizard people, you know.
yeah.
And at the end of the story, happens is that basically the cat, to
Hmm.
stop the evil, she actually wears, she dies wearing the bracelet and brings down
Hmm.
her own god instead of the evil god that the lizard person brought in. to try and stop the carnage. It's like the criminal people suddenly turn into the ones that save the day.
I
You know,
bet.
you see sometimes you get all the fantasy ones where
Mhm.
they're all goody goody from the start. For me, I want my heroes to have a slight flaw. Funny enough, the dwarf is greedy for
Mhm.
technology. The cat's greedy for shiny things. The human just likes fighting for the sake of fighting. And
Yeah.
the elf just is a bit like, oh, look, butterfly. If you know what I mean by that. He doesn't really keep an eye on the ball, where he is or what he's doing properly.
Mhm.
He's always getting in the shit. Oops, sorry. Looks like Patty's after me. Okay, I've got to go. Sorry about this. It's just
Okay.
Patty wants to talk to me about something important. Okay, I'll call you up later or tomorrow when
Okay.
you're up again. You take care, my friend.
See you. Well, I think there's. Have you guys seen the episode of Super Laszlo where Dean was abducted by the fairy keys? Well, you could do stories like that, or you could do stories about dragons that could change into human form, or anything. Because, like I said, with the vampires, zombies, and werewolves, it's been overdone, and there's nothing new to them. Uh, what else? You could also add in the stories rivers or other water sources like lakes, creeks, oceans, you name it. You could throw in other paranormal type like thank you, Matt. Uh, another idea is other paranormal, like ghosts. You could have ghosts, spirits, demons, witches, you name it, in there. Like a witch could cast a curse or something. You could have other creatures like man's best friend and all that. Dogs, cats, you name it. In the wilderness, like Matt said, for survival with the Bigfoot, he could have deers, bears, and all that in that type of stories. Uh, Buildings. It can't be like a castle anymore, like in the Beauty and the Beast. It could be mansions or caves or abandoned buildings, things like that. Or maybe a backstory at the end of how yeah, that's a good brainstorming, Claire. That's a good setting. Could be a flying creature that takes them there. I think we've covered everything we can on brainstorming. You guys have a story in mind of what to write and we could share in 2 weeks? I have something in mind for my short story for it. Okay, Matt. Remember, it have to be a Beauty and the Beast story. A unicorn, evil unicorn falls in love with with someone who is not, or someone who is worthy of keeping alive. Okay. If we got our ideas on stories to write in 2 weeks, we could share. Next week, we're going to try and do some techniques on ideas on how to write the short stories. And on Monday, we're going on Yankee Southerners reading or read Yankee Southerners reads for scripted deal he's talking about, so that we could probably try and get our stories published. Yeah, I figure that we may have some people in here who haven't wrote before. Yeah, we're trying we're trying to get help people if they need help on how to write short stories, Matt. That's why I give them 2 weeks. It don't have to be a huge story. It could be a 100 words to 1,000 words. And then we could do, in 2 weeks, we could do edit, grammar check, things like that. Help each other out. I, we may try and do it on Discord to do it in groups. Uh, Welcome back. Yeah, those are exercises on how we could write, because I know there's some people who write slower than other tales. Welcome back, Paul. You coming up here, Paul, to finish? Or are we going to head over to Yankee Southerners Gaming, which is his live would be in about an hour? Do you, Claire, do you have any other ideas that we could do? Okay. Take care, Matt. Yeah. Okay, Paul. You could you could come up and we could talk more about other cryptids and that we could use in stories. Don't be afraid, Claire. We're all like minded in here writing stories and all that. Nobody will pick on you in here. You talk about D&D and Matt, and I keep coming up with characters to write about that's from the D&D games, like Bugbear. Uh, I used to play D&D games. Uh, and so far, we had no trolls in this in any of my live streams. Everybody's safe in on here. Okay, Paul. I'll try if I have the chance to. That too, Claire. Almost like a Frankenstein story, huh? Frankenstein was created in a lab, and he escaped and fell in love. Take care, Matt. See you sometime next week. It could be a lab or dungeon. Yeah, that's the ideal, Clear. I put them together to create a Frankenstein monster. A cave or cavern could work for that as well. Uh, that's another thing that I have to put down as a too much of a saturation, though. Yeah, Claire. I have to say we can't use ghosts either because it's being saturated with the love story between a ghost and a living person. Um, yeah, ultimate creature design. What other creatures that we haven't done love story inputs with? Um, we could create a Scylla monster, the Greek mythology, where she falls in love with a male human. With all her tentacle arms holding him down. Um, or Sybaris, the three-headed dog. It turns out Sybaris transformed into three human. That's a good curse clear. Uh, I guess I run out of ideas what brainstorming is to go on. You're doing some good brainstorming there, Claire. I think people would love to read what you have to write. There's a market for that, you know. Well, I guess I'll call it for today until next Saturday. We're going to go over to Yankee Southerners Reads to do script writing. You're welcome, Claire. And then next week we're going to do fundamentals on how to write stories, fiction stories, so that we all could, especially people new to writing fiction stories, to know what we could do. I'll say thanks for everybody stopping by today. Had a good brainstorming session, and I'll see you guys Monday on. Some of you later tonight on Paul's wrestling tournament, and then on Monday on his Yankee Southerner Reads saddle for descriptive, and then next Friday we're going to be talking about Bigfoot in media, and then Saturday we're going to do the fundamental of writing. I'll see you all later. Bye.